On November 22, after weeks of trying to find the right space for her dream, Nikki High signed a lease for a 621-square-foot space on North Hill Avenue. This is where she began in earnest to plot out her independent bookstore. Octavia's bookshelf would feature books by Black, Latino, Indigenous writers and other authors of color in the same neighborhood where Octavia Butler, the store's namesake, lived and found inspiration for her novels. Now, all High needed was to spread the word, and get some funding. High, 48, grew up in Pasadena and spent most of her life in the area. For 15 years she had worked in the marketing department for Trader Joe's, visiting cities across the country where the chain wanted to expand. An ardent reader who had dreamed for years of starting her own bookstore, she used her work trips to chat up bookshop owners about how they went about starting their businesses. When her beloved grandmother died suddenly last year, High decided it was time to take the leap. Her family worried about the move. They asked whether it was a good idea to make a radical life change involving great financial risk. High admits she had her moments of doubt. The GoFundMe she launched was trudging along with the help of friends and family. And last summer, ESO1 Books, a prominent Black-owned bookstore in South Los Angeles, announced it would close its store. High, who frequented ESO1, wondered what the closure might mean for a new bookstore with a similar focus. There was that initial fear, High said during an interview at her bookstore, which still sat empty in late January, save for a few tantalizing books by the window. And then it was like, okay, but we have to keep showing up, and we have to bet on our community of readers and people with curious minds. I'm confident that those people are here in this area and beyond. Online, High shared her proudest accomplishment of 2022 on New Year's Eve. I took the leap and quit my job to open my very own bookstore. The next morning, she woke up to an overwhelming response. Her tweet garnered thousands of retweets, which materialized in the days afterward into $15,000, and for her GoFundMe. She put the donations toward equipment and books. Authors emailed her to schedule book signings. On February 18, High will open the doors to Octavia's Bookshelf, a store she said she hopes will offer a space that didn't exist when she was growing up. It turns out the business isn't as stagnant as she feared. Despite the loss of ESO1, bookstores like High's are growing, according to the American Booksellers Association, a national organization that represents independent bookstores. In 2022, 203 independent bookstores opened, and the association has seen 20% growth in membership since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, said Allison Hill, chief executive officer of the organization.